All right, y'all, welcome back to the Poverty Channel. It's your boy, Kenny versus Poverty. And today, we finally talking about money. And not just money.
One eternity later.
All right, guys. So the last one didn't work out, but I'm back. So today, like I said, I want to talk to you about money and whether or not money makes you happy, right? Because I've lived both poor and then throughout my working life, I've reached what some would consider middle-class status, but I didn't have the financial literacy it took to keep the money. So then I lost it all, built it back up, lost it all, worked a 9 to 5 in the process, and still remained broke, right? So it wasn't until I increased my financial literacy and start putting things into place that I actually got a break. And that's, like, I'm talking about from age 0 all the way to age damn near 30, right? You're talking about financial ruin. It took financial literacy. It took me betting on me, right? And that's difficult to do if you don't have anybody around you that can speak life into you, betting on you, right? Some of you guys know what I'm talking about. So it took a global pandemic, right? It took a massive recession in the market. It took so many things for me to finally get things put in place just a little bit, right? I'm still at the just a little bit category, but I can now understand that once God gives you, right? Because, you know, Steve Harvey says that God gives you the money to manage, right? Dave Ramsey says, God gives you the money to manage. It's up to you whether or not how well you manage a little will determine how well you manage a lot. So what I want to know is, does money truly make you happy? Because when you grow up in poverty, when you grow up in ruin, when you grow up in financial detriment, money is the only objective that matters. Money is the only objective that you're ever trying to get. It's the only thing you're ever aspiring to. It's the thing that you think solves all your problems. It's the thing that you think, right? That's why you're giving everything up. That's why you're sacrificing everything. That's why you're doing what you're doing. That's out in my humble opinion. So let me start here. Growing up, right, I had it in my head that the only people with money are people that showed their success. So when you think about people that show their success, you have to incorporate people that buy fancy cars, right? That dress a certain way, that wear a certain type of thing, right? That show their wealth on their body, their jewelry, their stuff. Now, not to say that those are people that do or don't have, because there's examples of people that have it and expose it that way. There's examples of people that don't have it and are falsifying an identity, right? But what I will say is, going through my financial literacy period, so from like age 25 to 30, I'm going hard, man. I'm reading books. I'm putting myself around wealthy people. I'm in sales. So when you work in sales, there's people that you can gravitate towards that, are actually making some change, right? And based on what I've seen, the people that live as humbly as possible, right? The people that make, I'll say, like, the people that make over $100,000 a year, but live as humbly as possible, right? So they don't have the huge house, or they don't have a huge house payment, because that's key. They don't have the damn Lamborghini, Rolls Royce, what's the other one? Range Rover, etc. So they don't have the huge car payment. They make over $100,000 a year. They invest in assets and they live humbly. Those people, in my experience, have been way more happy than the people that look like success. The people that you see like, oh boy, he got it. It takes so much upkeep when you live that way to make sure that you have all of the bills paid. It's almost impossible for my mind to fathom that they're living happily. You see what I mean? So in this country, we have people that, so you work, let's say you work a 9 to 5. If you work a 9 to 5, no college degree, no nothing, on average, you're making between $30,000 and $50,000 a year. You know what I'm saying? There are unicorns that go into industries like learning their trade skills, running up the construction ladder, right? Getting into administrative positions. These things boost you up to like $65,000, $70,000 a year, right? So I was in there in the sales industry. I capped off. I had to do a lot of wheeling, dealing, and stealing. Man, listen, it was crazy, some crazy stuff that I had to do into the sales industry, but I capped off at probably like 69, almost 70,000. But I'm talking about, ran through it, man. I bought some gold teeth, some cars, some rims, stuff that did not help me at all. But meanwhile, I still was, I still had to wait for the second paycheck to pay my rent, right? So you're making all that money, but you're, okay, well, I can spend all this paycheck, and then the second one, that's because I want to go pay my rent. So when you think about it, right, you got the people that work the 9 to 5s with no college degree. And then you got the people that go to college and it's only like a $10,000 to $15,000 starting boost for going to college. But then when you go to college, you amass anywhere between $30,000 to $80,000 worth of debt. This shit don't make no sense, right? You go to college and graduate, and then the jobs that you're able to get pay you $10,000 to $15,000 more than your counterparts with no college degree. But wait, does college cost $10,000 to $15,000? No, it costs way more. So it takes you so much longer to pay it back, and then they indoctrinate you with the mentality that signs of success: nice house, nice car. First of all, mortgage. If you are buying a house, so look, this is things that I learned throughout the process. If you're buying a house, right, and you're buying it for you to live in it, it's not an asset. Even if it appreciates, it's not anything that's going to pay you, because even if it appreciates, the only thing you can do is borrow money on your loan. 9 times out of 10, that money is locked up. You're paying that for the next 30 to 40 years, which leaves you stuck in that house, in that city, in that place and time in your life for 30 to 40 years without the mobility to move around to create the wealth that you need. Because the way that I've seen it, right, the way that I've been given the game, if you took that same amount of money and you bought a multi-family home, then you're able to collect rent. Just the different decision of what you bought would enable you to collect money from the asset that people told you to buy. So it's little things like that that you never, first of all, you never learn growing up in the hood. Second of all, even if you're middle class, you never truly learn until you sit down and talk with entrepreneurs, until you run across a couple entrepreneurial books, or until you super invest in your financial literacy. So again, does money, having money, the ability to have access to cash and or wealth, does that make you happy? Because on one side of my brain, I'm saying the last 5-6 years of super investing in my financial literacy education, money doesn't make you happy, right? Money is just simply something that you use to buy your time back. And having time freedom is what makes you happy. But all of that sounds like mumbo jumbo to my guys in the hood, because I still got family struggling. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, when you have that divide, you still got family living a certain way, that money would solve a whole lot of their damn problems. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, man, I ain't got no money. When you don't have no money, it's easy to say, well, money won't make you happy because you can do this or you do. But when you don't know where your next 20 is coming from, like you need right now, $20 is going to make the difference of whether you're able to live comfortably for the day, or you got to go pawn something this afternoon to feed your, you know what I'm saying? Like if you're a parent, you got to go pawn something to feed your kids. So that simple thing there is a huge determinant factor in your overall happiness. But this is what I mean. Because yes, that is a barrier to entry, but that's also a lack of resourcefulness. That's a lack of resources. And this is why, when we're coming through school, we were taught that you have to go to work to get paid. So then when people have the imbalance in their heart, so deep down there's a whole bunch of people that are just born with an entrepreneurial spirit, but nobody has developed that trait inside of you. So you never tap inside of that part of yourself, bring that out and develop it, manage it, turn it into something. So you know your last 5 jobs wasn't shit, right? Last 5 jobs you went to, you was late, you was calling out sick, you let the people around you in them negative ass environments inflict certain type of trauma on your brain, your peace of mind. You took your job home with you. You tried to get the overtime, but they wouldn't give it to you. So then you got upset because they cut your paycheck and then upped your taxes. So these are all things that happen inside of your job journey. Something is telling you to do better. Something is telling you to move different. But the problem is you don't know how, and you don't know where to look to move differently. So then here's the problem in that scenario. Your lack of resourcefulness to develop yourself is going to leave you at an imbalance, which is going to leave you broke. If you don't never punch something, if you don't never go in, I'm talking about go into it, punch it, try everything. Really figure out what you have inside of you so you can get to just a small level of comfortability that gives you options. The lack of options is the problem. It ain't money, having money, not having money, good job, bad job, you work there, this minimum wage, that minimum wage. I seen that slight shit that Biden just said on the thing. Everybody's minimum wage should be $15. No person should live in poverty. Bro, $15 ain't gonna bring people out of poverty because the cost of living is too high, but we ain't talking about that right now, Mr. Biden. But the problem is the lack of resources, the lack of resourcefulness, right? We have to understand when the jobs don't work out, that you gotta bust another move. You gotta do something different. You gotta move different. You feel what I'm saying? You gotta look at, you know what I'm saying? You got something inside of you that's like, ooh, I really like car, man, go sell them hoes. Ooh, I really like shoes, go sell them hoes. Man, I be drawing all the time, I just be doodling. Sell that shit, bro, you're an artist. Man, you know what I'm saying? I be bouncing this basketball. But then we teach our kids that, the only way to make it is the NFL, the only way to make it is the NBA. Do you understand if you really good at hoop, you can start creating hoop type content. People want to see hoop type content. Like if you know what I'm saying? You good at playing football, you good at playing basketball, create content. Create content around the thing that you love and give it to the world unapologetically and let them decide if you have value in the marketplace. But don't keep all of your talents bottled up inside of you and keep going to that nothing ass job that's going to leave you broke in the end. And this is from experience. This is me. So I'm working my ass off. You know what I'm saying? I'm working on top of working. I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying? I'm selling, commission. I'm putting in some hours. I ain't never, for the whole time I've worked, I've never had a savings. Never throughout my entire working life have I had a savings. Have I been able to put money into an account, call it savings, and not touch it? You know the banks force you to open up a savings account, and I done moved money from the, you know what I'm saying? If you don't you heard Kevin Hart say it was in my checking, in my savings, because if I don't put the money in my savings, then the bank gonna charge me $25, I'm gonna put the money in my man, come on, man. And that's just because they want to invest your money. Y'all know. So, and if you don't know, I'll explain it later. But I've never been able to have a amount of money set to the side and not touch it. So what the hell was I working for? Right? We say that money is what we're working for. But if you are working and your consumption level is so high, you never actually have any money. So the question is, what are you working for? But don't nobody think about it like that, right? We just go to work and then we get paid and then we buy the shit that we want. And then when you run out of money, you're like, well, I get paid in 2 weeks. So I'm just gonna dumb it down, and then, you know what I'm saying, we're gonna hold off and use this little money for gas, and I'm gonna eat some top ramen noodles, and I'm gonna wait for them 2 weeks, and then we reset that cycle all over again, not understanding we're given time we can't get back. Yes, you just got paid on Friday, right? All right, you spent all the money by next Wednesday. So then you're not gonna get paid again until next Friday. That's fine. You're gonna get the money back. You never get that time back. Then 2 weeks that you're waiting to get paid, you'll never get that shit back. The 2 weeks prior that paid you on Friday when you ran out of money on Wednesday, you'll never get that back. So truly, 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 money is not doing anything for us. It's not doing anything for you. It does. Y'all ain't hearing me. Oh man, where am I? So last year, right, I would have killed for that right there. Because I'm talking about me and my kids did a whole bunch of odd end jobs and all type of stuff, right? Pawn and jewelry, everything. Last year, borrowing money from family members, just last year, because I didn't have one of these, to help my family eat, to help my family pay a bill, to help my family address an emergency. But then you get one of those. And now the assumption is that you have options, right? The assumption is that you're gonna be okay. The assumption is now you're able to go back to your bad history of overindulging. But then what about when you get one of those? Now, in your mind, if you come from where I came from, you think you're right. So you're gonna spend it. That's what you're gonna. What about when you get one of them? Where I came from, that's shoe money. So you spend the money on the shoes. It never does nothing for you but make your closet look better. You need a shirt though. But then what about the nice pants that everybody's wearing? That shit's all dead money, right? Because even if you do all this, right? You do all of that. You was working hard. You do all of that, right? You see you see the scammers and the people on Instagram, the people on TV, they telling you, you do all of that. What nobody is saying is that this is a dead commodity if you don't use this to make one of these. It's a dead it's difficult, right, for me to convey the amount of passion because I'm speaking to a specific group of people. If you good and in your head, you, man, I got it, man, I'm making money, I'm making moves, all right, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna be stupid and die broke. This video ain't for you. But for the people that are working their ass off, right? This is for the group of people that are working their ass off. I'm talking about they beating the bricks. You know what I'm saying? They beating the bricks. They making $3, $4, $5, $6, $7, $8,000 a month. And then they're ending that month with no money. This is for you guys. You absolutely, I mean, you know what I'm saying? You got your federal taxes, your retirements, and all of this stuff you got. But you have to understand one thing, that the money is dead. As soon as you get it, right? As soon as you get it, you have living expenses. So then if you got this, you got to take the whole first step. That's your living expenses. That money's dead, bro. So because you were able to see it doesn't mean anything. That money's dead. But you got to live, but you also got to eat. So you got to take those so you can eat. All right. Which means you got these left. You see what I mean? But what you do with these, how you consume, your decision on what you do with these is going to make up not only tomorrow, not only next week, not only next month, not only next year, it's going to make up the rest of your life. It's going to make up the rest of your life. It is so unreasonable for people to be told, well, you get this amount of time off from your job to rest your brain, to reflect, to relax. to reset, to spend with family. This is how much time you get. But you got to give us all of this time, and so you can retire in 20, 40, 30 years, bro. Like, do you guys does anybody sit down at their career and really understand it? So you can retire in 20, 40, sometimes 50, 30 years from now. So the way that you feel about Monday, the same way that you feel about Monday, every time the weekend rolls around, oh man, I gotta get up and go deal with these punk ass coworkers of mine, nigga. This is some bullshit. Can you imagine doing that for 20 years? Like, bro, you're gonna be 20 years older than what you are right now. You're telling me you don't want any more time freedom than what you have right now? Right? You don't want to have any more assets? Like, what if you have kids? You don't want your kid, bro. Your job is not going to support your kids, man. I don't give a damn where you work. It's not going to support your kids' dreams. You feel what I'm saying? Because the only thing that's going to happen is, right, it might be able to pay for their private school. You know what I'm saying? You making money, man. You might be able to pay for their private school. It might be able to pay for their advanced learning. It might be able to pay for their extracurricular activities. It might even be able to fund their college. But the problem is you're dooming your kids to the same suffering that you're enduring now. Why would you want to do that? Like, bro, how you love your kids and then tell your kids that this is just a part of life, they have to suffer that way. You feel what I'm saying? They don't. They don't got to suffer the way that you're suffering right now. You putting in the work so your kids don't have to. That's what we say to ourselves. We grind it. You know what I'm saying? We punching that clock so our kids don't, man, we getting that OT so our kids don't got to work. But the problem is as soon as they come out of college, they're not going to know what to do. Even in the midst of college, they're not going to know what to do. They're going to be told by everybody around them to get a job. When all you got to do is, hey man, this is the new J's. Man, the new J's just came out on the sneaker app. Why you don't tell your kids they can take this, invest in something that might pay them $25 a month? Right? You get paid $25 a month for 10 months, you make $250. And if that's all your kids' money, then now we're talking about doing that over a couple years. They could pay for their own damn college. But wait, what if you got more than one kid? You give your other kid a business. But wait, we don't want to stop there. Because the banks tell you to create an account for your kids, but what if you create an investing account for your kids? Not just a bank account. So the bank can help your kids manage their money to give money to you, to give money to someone else, to you watching the video, so you can buy a house. That's what the banks do. But put some money in your kid's stock account. But wait, you don't really know about that, right? Teach your kids about building a brand. Teach your kids about building a business. Teach your kids about expressing whatever it is that they love right now, right? Because, so look, we beat these extracurricular activities into our children. You gotta be a football, basketball, tennis, soccer, playing baseball figure. What if your kid really likes stuffies? You got a kid that likes stuffies. So what if your kid took this and bought 10 stuffies? Teach your kid how to flip stuffies on eBay. But it's a kid, so kids have shifted focus. So then next, your kid likes Pokemon cards. Your kid's one of those, let them buy some limited edition Pokemon cards to see how they perform in the market. Oh, your kid like comic books. All right. Give them one of those to let them see how you can buy a comic book for one price and then hold it for a little bit of time. And because a new Marvel movie may come out, the comic book price shoots up. But then that's 3 different businesses. And worst case scenario, you don't make no money. But if I spent this damn money on the Jordans, I wouldn't make no money anyway. Now, granted, the Jordans can sell, and that's a whole market and buying and flipping shoes, but that's not what y'all be doing. Y'all be buying them to wear them motherfuckers to look fucking cool with all the rest of the goofy motherfuckers that's wearing the same shoes as you. So I just wanted to say, guys, I don't want to get too far on my tangent. I just wanted to say, I don't think it's the money that makes you happy, because the more money you have, the more money you have to manage, right? When I was poor and broke and I had bills, I said, fuck it, because I had the money. It didn't cause me any strife, it didn't cause me any stress. But when you do have money, especially when you come from not having money, there's an embedded fear of running out of money. And you literally have to beat that out of yourself to retell yourself. I tell myself every morning that this money is dead. I need to get rid of it. The money is dead. I need as many investments as I can have so I can get an ROI, so I can start getting a return on my investments. Now, some stuff is going to fail, but the money is dead already. If I keep it, inflation is going to kill the money, which means that things tomorrow are going to cost more than what they cost today, and that's going to kill your money. If I give it to the bank, they're going to give me a small percentage, and they're going to spend my money. I'm going to watch the bank become a bigger conglomerate, not helping my community. That shit's hard for me to sleep with. You know what I'm saying? It's hard for me to sleep with the fact that I'm giving my money to somebody to further the organization, and I still got people close to me, family members close to me that's struggling. You know what I'm saying? I can't sleep with that. So once you understand and train yourself to believe that the money is dead, you find something to do with it. So then 1 can make 2, 2 can make 2.5, 2.5 can make 4, 4.5 can make 5, and then that process cycles within itself, right? Investing in my brand, building myself into the person that I already should have been. And that point, you actually I'm building time freedom, right? I'm working as hard as I'm working to create the luxury of having time freedom, the luxury of having the ability to do with my time what I want, as well as be a blessing to those around me that aren't quite as developed on the journey as I am.
I don't know how much more motivation you need if you come from the hood or your family is still in poverty, to be real with you. That's all the motivation that I need. All the motivation I needed was seeing my mom still having to work. The motivation that I needed was seeing my grandma still having to work, and she's 75 years old. The motivation I need is seeing that my family didn't own a damn thing and they still was renting.
In my opinion, you guys, money don't make you happy. It makes you into the person that you said you were. It makes you stand on the person that you said you are in the mirror. As soon as you get some money, you gotta stand on that. And when you get more money, you gotta stand on that. All throughout this process, you gotta reinvent yourself and reinvest in yourself to be a person worthy of managing such a blessing. And this from Kenny versus Poverty, y'all. I'm out.
Life, been grinding all my life, sacrifice, hustle paid the price, want a slice, got to roll the dice, that's why all my life, I've been grinding all my life.